What is up, league members? This is the commish Mike, not the non-commish Mike. Coming at you from my home office. Just stuff, just just whatever. I don't really feel like working right now. I'm a little ZZZ. Trying to get back to swing of things in football. Only have to coach for a couple more weeks. Then I can concentrate so much more. My teams will get so much better during that time frame. But what I'm doing today is I'm gonna do my 1/3 of the year, well, kind of 1/3 of the year, whatever. After 4 week awards, go over a little bit as far as what the players are doing right now that are out there. Also, what's happening within the league. Some of our biggest surprise teams, disappointments, my bold predictions, etc. So for our 1/3 year award so far, the MVP. The most valuable player thus far in fantasy football is none other than Todd Gurley. I want to thank one person, Mr. Brandon Van Wyck. You have provided me with the player that I needed to excel, to thrive towards a championship. I appreciate that trade. Thank you. Gurley leads the league in touchdowns. As far as I know, 7 total, I think. Yeah. Nearly, or excuse me, 362 rushing yards, 20 receptions, 234 receiving yards. Great numbers for any overall back. He has the most points in the fantasy league right now, and is our clear-cut MVP. We have a couple people that are coming up as runner-ups. Tom Brady, with quarterback with passing touchdowns only being 6 points now. Going to gear a little bit more towards quarterbacks overall. However, Gurley is still outdone him. But Tom Brady has the second most points in the league this year. Kareem Hunt from the Caribbean Heat, number 3. And a big surprise, Alex Smith, also from the Caribbean Hunt, number 4. Um, Alex Smith has just over 105 points. He's a second-ranked quarterback in the NFL right now. He has had a couple of big games, but he's thrown 8 touchdown passes too. I mean, geez, Pete. I remember what was it, a couple of years ago. I don't think Kansas City had a passing touchdown to a wide receiver all year long, and Alex Smith has already came up with 8 so far this year. Not to wide receivers, but pass touchdowns in general. Kind of freaky, kind of great. For Rookie of the Year, I have to go back to Kareem Heat, out of the Caribbean Heat. Um, Kind of amazing that Aaron's doing so bad considering he has 2 members of the Chiefs that are doing so well. Maybe unexpectedly, too. So maybe that just talks about his overall management skills. That's right, Aaron. You heard it here first. Kareem Hunt has had a great year so far. Filled in perfectly when Spencer Ware went down. He has over 500 yards rushing. He has 4 rushing touchdowns, 13 receptions, 157 through the air, and 2 receiving touchdowns. So he has 6, only 1 less than Gurley. Actually, more rushing yards, but he has not done as much in the passing game. That's why the point differential overall. Nonetheless, it's fairly obvious. Aaron got a steal and a pick thus far. So a nice pickup there, Aaron. My runners up. I have Leonard Fournette from Duke, Derek Mostrom's team. Just a wrecking ball out there. He's a stud. I have him. I have him in other places out there, other dynasties. He's a stud for me. He's a stud for Derek right now. He's going to continue to be a stud, barring injury. Deshaun Watson. Of course, he had one game that kind of has fluctuated these numbers up a little bit. However, overall for a rookie quarterback, he's done very well thus far. Been impressed with him out of Phoenix. And Dalvin Cook, pre-injury, he did have a great start to the year, but not going to finish this year. Sorry, Brian. Biggest surprise this year, I got to go back again to Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt's going to be throughout this. No bigger surprise than what I see out there, out in the Caribbean. A couple more surprises. Tariq Cohen for my team, Chicago. He's been doing a heck of a job. I don't think anyone expected him to have the impact he's having overall. Jared Goff out of Detroit for the Detroit Hitmen. He had a horrible year last year. Everything was horrible going out with the Rams. This year, out in LA, between Goff, between him and Gurley, a couple new wide receivers, a couple new linemen, they're running out there. They have an offense to be worried about a little bit. And in Calgary, Trevor Siemian, been impressed. Like Yeah, he's one of my biggest surprises. Trevor Siemian has actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 6. He has the 16th most fantasy points. He has more points than Le'Veon Bell. Let that sit there just for one more second, Hollywood Knights. Trevor Siemian has more points than Le'Veon Bell, as does Eli Manning, as does Jared Goff, as does Stephon Diggs, as does Deshaun Watson. I mean, you're getting kind of where we're going with this. Bell, well, actually, isn't one of my biggest disappointments I'm going to get to, but he has been a disappointment overall. My biggest disappointment, and maybe this is partly because he's on this person's team. Maybe it's because his contract is absolutely ludicrous, but I'm putting Julio Jones there. He has averaged 12 points a game. Great. His contract, though, speaks that he needs to average much more than that for Brandon to succeed, in my mind. Plain and simple. He's had a disappointing year on all accords. On all accounts. He's not the number one. He's not the number two. He's not even in the top. I don't even think he's in the top like 8 or 9 wide receivers at this point. Not even the top 10. I don't know. For what Brandon's paying him, I have to put him in the biggest disappointments category. I'm going to join him myself with Amari Cooper. A huge disappointment. Now, granted, I'm paying him far less than what Brandon's paying Julio Jones, hence my change of pace there as far as who I selected. Brandon Marshall, also in that book. Under 30 points so far this year for the Hitman. Not good. Marshawn Lynch, under 27 points. I think he's out in Kepler Supermoons. Very disappointing. Jamison Crowder, just over 20 points. I think a lot of people expect to have him a pretty decent year. He's not doing anything this year. And at running back, yeah, I'm gonna say it. Jay Ajayi, averaging 8 points a game. A lot of people expected more. Not me. Him and his bad knee. His knee is the exact same thing that I had with my knee, so I know what he's doing. That's why I got rid of him. Didn't want anything to do with him. See ya. JJ, less than 8 points a game is just going to get worse. Within the league, I have a couple more things to talk about. The biggest surprise within the league, I'm going to have to say, for the good or the bad, yes, Brandon, you're here, the Hollywood Knights. Hollywood Knights are 4-0. Somehow they're only scoring the 5th most points in this league so far, but undefeated. They're still kicking. Can't argue with results. I think the results are skewed, but that's just my opinion. I don't really care what you say, Brandon. Results might be skewed. He's only had 449 scored against him, which is much lower than the Caribbean Heat, the Hitmen, the Badgers, barely more than the Vipers, less than the Gladiators, less than the Supermoons, less than the Mastodons, less than the Bombers, less than Derek Most assuming less than Calgary. Again, you know where we're going with this. He has not played great competition thus far, which is why I'm going to circle back around to this later on. My biggest disappointment so far, I think, has been the Detroit Hitmen. Detroit Hitmen, I thought, were set up in a win-now mode. They lost their first 2 games. They've won their next 2, so they're in the 500 seed, or excuse me, the 500 record. Them and the Kepler Supermoons, I kind of both expected a little bit more out of. Both 2-2. But here we go. For my bold prediction of the year, as of right now, Eric and Brian are both making the playoffs, the Brewers and the Vipers. My bold prediction is one of them will not make the playoffs. You heard it here first. And here's why. My division winners that I'm coming up with for my bold prediction number 2 are going to be the Chicago Bombers, Midland Mastodons. Both gimmies pretty much at this point. I'm going to say the Grand Rapids Brewers take home the East, and the Detroit Hitmen take home the West. That's right. Brandon's going to falter. Mike's going to keep plugging along. I think Mike actually gets the division on the West. And now we're going to ask, how about the wild cards? Well, now you know, Eric. Now you know, Vipers. You're not in it. It's going to be the Kepler Supermoons and Hollywood Knights in the wild card. So that's going to be, in my mind, the 1 through 6 seed. We have, as Brian talked about, some clear division on buyers and sellers. I think there's a big group in the middle right now, though, too. Which way do you go? I think this is how it ends up. Furthermore, my last little prediction, who's going to win a game first? Is it going to be Andy or is it going to be Sydney? It's not only going to be Sydney, but it's going to be Sydney this week. Sydney will upset Jared to move on to his first victory and to start celebrate. I guess start knowing what it means to celebrate a victory, actually. That's it. There's your first 30-year recap. Hope you enjoyed it. Good luck this week to everybody besides Eric, who I'm going to kick your tail. Peace.